In this video, we're going to go over how to make a glowworm. And so that's the finished product. Is kind of, this is one that I've already got packaged up to go out and give to people. But you can see that he has a little glow-in-the-dark star on the tail, and then the googly eyes for the eyes. So to do this pattern, you'll need medium weight yarn, some of these googly eye finger puppet eyes, and then I like to put this little glow-in-the-dark star on his tail. That's kind of optional. I am using regular yarn for this just because it's a little bit easier to show and to work with. To make this a glowworm, you know, you'd want to use glow-in-the-dark yarn. But I'm going to go ahead and get this one started. I'm just going to slip knot that on there. And then we're going to start crocheting around the loop of these little eyes. To get that started, I'm going to put the yarn behind the loop and then put the crochet hook through it, grab it from the back, and then pull through, and then we can just pull through the loops and make a single crochet. So that's going to be my first stitch just to get it on there. And then I'm going to do 8 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to kind of push it down so that we make sure we get it nice and tight in there. And then do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you happen to be working with a slightly thinner yarn or a slightly more heavier weight yarn, you just want to make sure that you have enough to cover up that pretty tightly so that you get, you know, cover it up real good there. The number of stitches is not really crucial on this particular pattern. Okay, so then we're going to do 2 chains, and I'm going to go around to that first stitch that we made over here when we put it on the eyes, and I'm just going to come through that first stitch and then slip stitch through that, and then through the end of that the 2 chains that we did there. From there, we're going to keep going back around to the front. And so in the front, we're going to double crochet in each stitch in the front. So double crochet in each of these. And that's the last one for the front. And now we're back around to the back where we just have these chain stitches. And I'm going to take this tail and just put it across so I can kind of weave that in as I go. And then I want to crochet around this, just similarly to the way we went around that. So single crochet, you're going to go around that loop in the back, grab your yarn and pull it through, and then single crochet. And we're going to do 5 across here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of pull that tight so that it's nice and tight in there. Okay, now we're going to do, on these double crochets, we're going to go through and just do another row of single crochet to get back around. 1 in each stitch. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and single crochet, go ahead and cross these back stitches as well, just to give it a little bit more space on the head. Okay, so now we're back to the front. Now we want to, we just want to get it into a position where we can start those spirals in a good place. So we want to just single crochet down to the bottom. So directly across from where the center of the eyes were. So that's going to be 4 stitches. 1 single crochet, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now that we're at the bottom, we want to start making the tail. So to make the tail, I'm going to chain 20. So all right, and this is the point at which if you're going to add the little glow-in-the-dark star, you want to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to pull that out a little bit and get my darning needle. I'm going to put that over the loop, over the whole thing, get that in my needle, and then use that to get it through my star or whatever other little thing you want to put on the end for a tail, and then pull that all the way through and take your darning needle off. Okay. So then I'm going to tighten this back up, put the crochet hook in, and tighten it back so that it's back kind of the way we had it, but with that star on it. I'm going to go in this first stitch. I can get to it. And just slip stitch to hold that on. There we go. So we're just going to slip stitch it on. Okay, now we're going to start making the spirals. And spirals are made by doing 4 stitches in each chain stitch all the way down. The way that I make the tail kind of, you know, get bigger and smaller at the end is by doing different stitches in those as we go. So this pattern we're going to do, first we're going to do in the first stitch right here, we're going to do single crochet. So I'm going to get my hook in there and do 4 single crochet. 1, all in the same stitch. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next chain stitch right here, and I'm going to do single crochet again. So 2 sets of single crochet. And that's 4. Okay. Okay, so after 2 of single crochet, I'm going to do half double crochet, pull it through, and then pull through all 3. So I'm going to do that 4 times. 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do that. We did 2 of single crochet. We're going to do 2 of half double. So this is the second half double. Oops, so that's 4. Okay, so now for the majority of these, I'm going to do double crochet. So once we've got those 2, go ahead and go to the next stitch, and we're going to do double crochet 4 times. And now I'm just going to keep doing that on each chain stitch. Double crochet 4 in each chain stitch. Okay, when you get down to when you have 4 stitches left, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to switch back to half double. So do the rest, these other last 4, I'm going to do 4 half doubles in each one. Okay, one more. Okay, now we're gonna twist this and get it straightened out so that it's all twisting, right? We're also going to come up to the front, and you can see this tail is kind of sticking out of the top there. I'm going to pull that through. Just put your crochet hook through there and pull it down through. Get that out of the way. Okay. So now we want to attach this so that it, you know, connects properly. So I'm going to cut this off with a pretty good long tail, probably 12 inches or so. I'm going to come back here and pull it through where you had the loop. Go ahead and pull that through so that we can finish it off. Thread your darning needle. Okay, so we're going to cut this tail off a little bit shorter too so that it just doesn't get in the way. It's already pretty well tied in, you know, with when we stitched it in here, so it's going to be okay just in there. Okay, so you can kind of look at this and see where, so we put this at the bottom so that he will spiral. You know, you're going to stitch the spiral so that it closes that gap up. So then it will kind of spiral from the bottom and go on to the end. So what we want to do is make sure that this is positioned where we want it, with it twist, you know, make sure it's twisted to the degree that you want it. And then I'm going to take this and stitch it together. So you're going to go to the inside stitches and the inside stitches here. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and start back here just to kind of pull that all together so that we have that, and then start with those V stitches together. And oh, come on, just get through. Oops. Okay. So just pull those stitches, and you're going to take the inside loops. So here I'm going to take the inside loop and the inside loop there. I'm just going to stitch that all, each stitch on there until we get his head all closed up. There's the next one, and that's going to go here. Okay, so now we're back down to the bottom, and so he's all closed up there. And then just see how he sits. Sometimes I will take a stitch and kind of get that joint a little bit stronger, just to make sure that he kind of sits the way I want him to. And then when I'm happy with that, I just tie it off. And put that in there. Looks like he's got his tongue, but I don't usually leave it that way. Cut it off, and then that'll just kind of go back down inside there. And then he's all done. And so they sit this way. It's a little hard to see on camera, but that's him.